AITA for saying my boyfriend's roommate can't come to Thanksgiving dinner? Me, 26F, and my boyfriend, 34M, have been dating for nearly a year and a half now. Tomorrow, he's coming to Thanksgiving dinner at my dad's house and meeting my family for the first time. I'm extremely family-oriented and it's so important to me that he's finally meeting them. This also means the world to my family because I rarely bring men home and they've been wanting to meet him for a long time. He's aware of this and how much this meeting means to me and has assured me that he's looking forward to it too. This afternoon, he asked if his roommate could come too. I was caught off guard and said no. I didn't even ask my family, who I'm sure would say yes. But it's a hard boundary for me. I barely know his roommate, but he's military and will not be able to be with his own family for the holiday, which is why my boyfriend asked. I understand and appreciate his compassion and kindness, but I need this event to be just him, me, and my family without his buddy who is a stranger to me. I called him to talk through it, but he's extremely upset and wasn't really responding. I asked if he's still coming and he said yes. Then, I asked if he's okay and he said no, but that he will be. I told him to reach out to me when he's ready and that I understand if he doesn't want to talk to me right now, so I haven't heard from him since the phone call a couple hours ago. I feel like a massive asshole, but this is one of the rare events where I've put my foot down in this relationship and refused to accommodate his wants. So, AITA? Updates. For more clarity and because people are making a lot of unfounded assumptions, I have briefly met his roommate, i.e., hi, bye, on multiple occasions. We barely know each other, though, because he has a schedule that makes it so he's rarely around when I am, and we've never had the opportunity to have a full conversation surpassing basic greetings. I made it very clear that I'd love to have him and include him in my family, but the first meeting between my parents and boyfriend wasn't the place to do so. My boyfriend has not met my family because I'm very particular about who I bring home and will not bring someone home unless I am 100% comfortable that that is the correct choice. I'm protective of my family and don't want them to get attached. I get it's unconventional, but it's my choice and every party involved respects that. I ended up apologizing to my boyfriend, asking my parents, and inviting his roommate, who wasn't aware my BF had asked about him coming. He can't even come anyways. I appreciate the comments, even the ones calling me a heartless monster, but no one is put out in the end. Info. I feel like a massive asshole, but this is one of the rare events where I've put my foot down in this relationship and refused to accommodate his wants. So, AITA? As I read your post, this dynamic is what really caught my attention. Does he have a history of waiting until the last minute to make some sort of demand? Does he reciprocate for you? Info. The last line of your post about finally putting your foot down and not accommodating this one request or something to that nature seems odd. Does he often request things of you that you go along with even if you don't want to? Info. I barely know his roommate, but he's military and will not be able to be with his own family for the holiday, which is why my boyfriend asked. Can you explain this further? If he's not deployed or on a military base, but is instead living in a private apartment as your boyfriend's roommate, why can't he enjoy Thanksgiving with his family? And why did he just ask this on Wednesday afternoon, after people have already planned the number of dinner guests, bought the food, etc.? NTA. If your boyfriend was a regular attendee at your family events, this would have been a more reasonable ask. But to bring a guest the first time you're a guest? That's a lot. This is one of the rare events where I've put my foot down in this relationship and refused to accommodate his wants. I expect to get pushback for this, but I have to say something because this rings alarm bells in my head. Please don't be guilted when you stand up for yourself. Sacrificing yourself for someone else's wants only ends in tears. He should not have sprung this on you at the last minute, and he should not be taking it as some personal affront. Proceed with at least some caution. And pay attention to his reaction any time you say no in future. NTA. NTA. It's your family. Honestly. Who cares if he's military? That really isn't your problem nor your responsibility to host him. You are clear what you want this visit to be about, so I think your sis should try to understand that. NTA. It would be one thing if your BF had already met your family and they'd known him for a while. But this is his first time meeting him. It should be just you and him going to Thanksgiving with your family. Nah, you're allowed to set whatever boundaries you want. But don't be surprised if, after thinking it over, he decides it's a deal breaker. People in the military together often become family to each other. So from his POV, you basically told him he has to leave a brother alone because your heart isn't big enough to include him. He'll probably honor his commitment to your family to attend, but I'll be very surprised if the relationship lasts past this weekend. Nah, Thanksgiving varies. Family varies. What seems like a no big deal request for one can be super difficult for another. For some households, Thanksgiving means a big crowd, and the more the merrier. For others, not so much. It would have been awkward to have random people at my bio parents'. It was usually just the three of us. Or two, since it was common to have one person freak out and leave. Something I was willing to subject exactly one understanding boyfriend to once. But my foster fam, they are a welcoming bunch and tend to have big potluck-style holidays or multiple activities. Options over a couple of days, so it would be pretty easy to accommodate one more last minute. I think it's common to have big welcoming Thanksgivings, but it's also not uncommon to have high-stress dysfunctional ones. Don't know what kind OP's family usually has. Some families' budgets or planning styles or stress and labor efforts would make adding in one more person a big challenge. Food expenses, pre-planned portions and place settings instead of all-you-can-eat style. A host who's already struggling to do all the things. NTA. At all. Especially when you mentioned, this is one of the rare times I put my foot down. Rethink the dynamic, please. He may have had good intentions, but it still is entitled to expect to bring A+1 when he's A+1 himself to meet your parents. Those saying it's Thanksgiving and morally wrong. The man is a stranger to OP. She deserves to feel comfortable and enjoy this moment between her family and partner. No, this is a first-time meet. No advance notice? Forget it. NTA. Info. How are you dating someone for 18 months and don't know their roommate? Do you not go to his house? Like ever? NTA. Boyfriend is a guest at Thanksgiving. He does not have a pre-existing relationship with the hosts. It is rude of him to try to invite an additional guest to the event. It is even ruder to do it on short notice. While his intentions toward his friend are clearly good, this is event also a big deal for you that he's meeting your parents. And he's not on the same page with you about that for some reason. Which feels weird to me. I'm wondering if he thought he could invite the friend as a buffer because he's afraid to meet them. Or something? I don't think this is necessarily territory on either side. But I do wonder if maybe you've focused so much on what you expect from this event that you're not coping with any plan changes. Rather than you actually don't want your boyfriend's roommate to be at your parents' for Thanksgiving. You know? But keep this in mind. How you treat others is a reflection of your character. In your BF eyes, he may see you as something that's not so flattering for being so focused on the first meeting being perfect and dismissing his concern for his friend who will not be able to see his family during a special holiday that's meant for family and friends to be together and be thankful. You have every right to say no, but be aware that your decisions may have consequences. Nah, but I would never turn away a roommate of a friend unless we have bad blood. Being military myself, I am hyper aware of suicide rates, especially during the holidays, so I'm a little more sensitive to it. So I see where BF is coming from, but I also understand boundaries. So if this is yours, so be it. NTA, you barely know the roommate. NTA, God, the timing really sucks on this. You gotta feel for the roommate. But this is the first time your BF is meeting your family. It really isn't appropriate to bring a third party into that. Not only do you not really know the roommate, but your BF would be obligated to spend time with his guest rather than with you and your family members. Surprised at all the YTA? Up. Everyone's holidays are different, and if your families aren't about inviting all strays to the table, there's nothing wrong with that. Also, waiting until the day before to ask is really bad behavior. NTA. NTA.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.